Okay, I hope we're back. Daz and Mary, you'll need to rejoin. Can anybody out there? Can everybody see us and can everybody hear us? Okay. Let me just check that everything is working in the engine room. Yeah, that should be okay. Ah, that's great. Thank you so much for that, Facebook user. Again, apologies that we can't see your name, but we cannot receive usernames from Facebook over the stream for whatever technical reason. It's not a feature that we have. So whoever you are, Facebook user, thank you very much. Sound is great. Great. So that was worth doing there. So what I was suspecting is true, that with Google Chrome, which we're using, over time, there is memory leakage, there's RAM leakage, and I think that degrades the sound. So great. That's another. It's Susan. Susan, you went to Astronomy Island. Well, hope you're well. Great, fixed, wonderful. I'm a genius and modest. So there we are. So Grant Shapps is still talking. Shall we listen back to Grant Shapps and see what he has to say?
100 satellites launched. So you can see this is a massively growing market, particularly these smaller nano satellites, some of which are no bigger than a shoebox, that the United Kingdom really has great speciality in, as well as some of the bigger ones, which we've always heard. So there's a big market, and we want to work globally. We want to do that, but we also think that we can grab probably as much as 30% of the launch market on these smaller satellites, which is something we're very keen to do.
I think that's absolutely right. I mean, the UK has all the pieces to the puzzle. You've got all the satellite manufacturers, you've got incredible universities, you have the logistics, and now you have the launch capability. So really, you have this end-to-end sustainable space applications mission capability that is unrivaled practically for the small satellite market in particular, and definitely joining the other few nations that actually have their own launch capabilities. So I think really that we're pleased to be your partner on this journey and help make that a reality. Maybe shift.
Well, thanks very much. It's great to hear you say that, because folks won't know, but we generate about £16.5 billion from space income each year in this country, and it's only set to grow. And we're going to work internationally to make that happen, and having this launch capability from British soil clearly puts us front and center of that.
Absolutely. And finally, I think so people know that you're a pilot yourself. So as you know, captive carry is happening. Our pilots are going on this journey, going forward. Maybe you could talk a little bit about your experience as a pilot. Just what's going through your mind? Like, what is your mental state right now, and how exciting is this for the people that are really on the front lines here of this launch?
Well, obviously I offered Virgin Orbit the opportunity to use me as the pilot, and I'm just kidding. I think everyone who flies, everyone with a pilot's license knows that the thing that you're always doing before a flight is you're going through the pre-flight checks in your mind, and then after that you go through the whole sequence of thinking through the flight. I visualize the flights that I take in advance, and I know that the captain will be doing exactly that. Incredibly experienced RAF pilot flying the aircraft this evening. He will have run through this, has done it, of course, in reality as well, so it's not just a sort of in principle thing. And that visualization, I always find as a pilot, really helps the process of flying. And of course, on a mission as important as this, I know that is the work that will have been going on in advance.
Yeah, and we're of course rooting for our pilots, we're rooting for our engineers, we're rooting for our team. I know the country is behind this mission. We're excited to be here in the UK. Grant, in the few seconds we have left, is there anything else you'd like to tell our viewers maybe about this mission, or about some other insights, some parting words, if you will?
Well, look, when I came down to Newquay, and we brought over the rocket last year, actually it was a replica of the rocket last year, some people said to me at the time, this is all fine, but actually, is this just a static display? Is it really going to happen? Is it really going to happen from the UK? And, collectively, and you guys in particular have proved that the answer is definitively, yes, the aircraft's in the sky. I think in, what is that, in 48 minutes or so, we're looking for the drop. So, you know, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone. And it's now thousands of people who've been involved in getting this mission up and running. There were any number of things which could have stopped it. And the first time you do something, particularly from somewhere new, you know, there are lots of regulatory barriers to overcome. I actually want to express my thanks to my Irish counterpart, who I spoke to and helped clear the airspace, to the Portuguese, and many others who've been involved in this evening. But look, I think this is an amazingly exciting time. We're all eyes glued to the drop and the launch of these satellites, and well done to you folks for making this happen. And tonight, all eyes are on the United Kingdom launching these satellites.
All right, Secretary of State Grant Shapps, thank you so much again for your continued support. Thank you for your leadership, and we look forward to continuing the partnership.
Thank you.
Well, Grant Shapps there being interviewed. And we have just, what is it? 47 minutes to go until the release of the rocket. So excitement is building. Daz and Mary, I don't know where you've gone. I hope you've managed to get back okay. If you're having any problems getting back into the stream, let me know. Send me a messenger message or Discord or something, and let me know if you're having problems. I hope you're both coming back. We hope Michael will rejoin us as well. Thanks for coming back. Anne says she had problems finding us. It should have been the same stream, but perhaps not. Anyway, we'll be somewhere on our channel. So Kev says had a quick break to go out to the Astro Shed, trying to grab some images while it's clear. Quite right, Kev, because you never know when it's not going to be. It's on ITV News at 10, says Anne, which is fantastic. I'm glad that it's on the news. Still disappointed that the BBC didn't do a live programme covering it, but we live in different times now to what we used to, I guess. So great. So we're just looking forward now to the drop time has gone up again. It's gone up to 49 minutes now. But anyway, not much of a difference. So sometime within the next hour, this is definitely going to happen. And there we are. So I'm going to disappear for a few minutes, and I will be right back. And in the meantime, I will leave you with the Virgin live stream, which currently is not really showing anything. And let me just make sure that if they have sound, then we get sound here as well. Okay, that's sorted. I will be back in a few minutes. Thank you for being with us. Mary's back. Just say hello to Mary. Hi, Mary. Welcome back.
Thank you.
The expected drop time is now just about 49 minutes. So we've got that one to wait. We do expect that to vary a little bit, obviously, depending on the flight plan and the wind and everything, and how fast the aircraft is going. Cocoa time, says Sea Fox. Well, yeah. Do you know, Sea Fox, I haven't had cocoa in many a good year. Anne in Ireland says hi, Mary.
Hi, Anne. I've took this opportunity to make a half-calf coffee. So
we're still missing Daz. I hope that Daz manages to get back into the stream. I'll send him a message asking him if he's okay. But there we are. And we hope that you're recovering from your cat injury, Anne. So that's pretty bad luck. So there we are. And obviously,
song
Anne
comes to mind. Cat Scratch Fever. Given everything tonight is named after songs.
I don't know that one.
Do you not? Oh, it's a great song.
Who's it by?
Oh, I'll have to Google that.
Okay. Okay. I will be back in 1 second.
So if you guys are watching on Flight Radar as well, Mark pointed out the Ethiopian Airlines plane that had to pretty much do a detour and fly north. It's going from Chicago to Addis Ababa, and it had to kind of do a massive detour north so that it could fly around the no-fly zone.
Goodness
me. Yeah. And Ted Nugent sang Cat Scratch Fever.
Oh, yes. That rings a bell now. Ted Nugent, of course. Of course. He's still going strong, you know. He's still gigging. So at the age of, what is he, 70, 76, I think he is, something like that, 77. So, yes.
A wee whippersnapper.
Absolutely. Well, it's amazing how many of the bands are still, still going. I mean, I was always a big fan of Hawkwind, and they are still gigging. In fact, their last album was probably their best in years. And Dave Brock of Hawkwind is the only original member who's guided the band throughout their 52-year history. I mean, he's 80 for God's sake, and he's still rocking like he's a 20-year-old.
Yeah, I have so much respect because I play very small scale gigs with my bands, and honestly, after one gig, I am so exhausted for a week. And if I ever have 2 gigs in a weekend, that's me out for the rest of the month. So how these guys go out and do it night after night is something else.
And to do it at the age of 80, I mean, you know, years ago, 80-year-olds were almost invariably in old people's home in comfortable cardigans watching TV, you know,
Which is me now.
Not out gigging, you know, leading a space rock band. So fantastic. Long may it continue. I mean, you look at the Stones, for God's sake, you know, they're still touring, and you know, they've definitely made a deal with the devil. Yeah, Keith Richards, of course, actually died 30 years ago, but yeah, so there we are.
He's not the only rock star that's had that experience.
No, I think Daz is rejoining us. Welcome back, Daz.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
I'm just going to check on. Sorry?
Can't see your video.
Can't see my video?
No, there's no video. We can hear you, but we cannot see you. You know that little switch on the camera?
Yeah.
The one that is on off. He's gone again. Well, we shouldn't complain. Daz, for the first time since, a long time, managed to stay with us for the duration of tonight's show because he has bandwidth issues where he lives. And he managed to stay with us for the duration of the show tonight, which we were absolutely thrilled about. But it looks like he's having problems now. So there we are. What do you want? Sorry, I've got a cat here who's asking for something. I've got 2 cats fighting here. Excuse me a moment.
Yeah, I had to pause and go and deal with a cat-related incident earlier. 3 of them were fighting outside the door, so they're all downstairs now.
I've solved the problem by throwing one of them out, so easy.
Because the weather's cold here, they won't go outside to burn off their energy, so they've been really naughty.
Yes, Comet Hail Bot, Mary. And I was just so gutted about Comet Neowise because it was in the north, and we've got the city of Girona to the north. And so the light pollution completely blotted the comet out. I just about managed to see it with the naked eye, but very briefly. So that was gutted because everybody else was saying, "Oh, it's a fantastic comet," and I couldn't see it at all. Although I should have been.
Yeah, I thought, obviously, as well, I wouldn't say I'm a seasoned comet observer, but I've imaged quite a few now. And for me, that was like the best comet we'd had since Hale-Bopp. You know, it was clearly visible to me, even without averted vision. And I put out an email around the village because it was literally above the darkest part of the sky from the village. And I sent the email out, and almost nobody managed to see it, even though it was just literally sitting there. So I don't think it was as easy to see for people that were not experienced as, you know, maybe we seasoned comet observers thought it was. Binocular wise, it just absolutely popped, but to the naked eye, people were just struggling to see it at all. So I was quite surprised by that.
I was walking down to the pub one night during Hale Bopp, and Hale Bopp was all over the news. You couldn't miss it. It was in all the newspapers, on TV, just permanently. And there was a mother and her daughter in Wales, and they were standing looking up at Hale Bopp. And the mother said to the daughter, "What's that then?" And the daughter says, "I don't know." The mother said, "Is it a plane?" And I had passed, and I said, "No, it's a comet." "A comet? That's not been in the news." I said, "Yeah, it has. A comet? A comet?" And it's so
Do you know
funny.
what? My husband didn't see it. I
What?
don't know how. I know he's been into astronomy since he was a child and somehow missed Hale Bopp. I think he had 2 young children at the time or something, and it just no time to actually do any astronomy. So he never saw it, and I'm gutted on his
Right.
behalf that he missed it.
Oh God, yeah. Now I noticed something really strange about Hale Bopp that I'm almost always too frightened to tell people because they'll say I'm crazy. To me, it appeared that late at night you were seeing it from a different angle as from earlier. And I know that's impossible. But it really did look as if I was seeing it from a different angle. Perhaps I was just drunk. I don't know. I'll shut up about it now. But
No, I mean the length of time that was visible for was really quite something, wasn't it? It was just night after night after
it was
night.
night after night, and we had a lot of clear nights, luckily, in Wales at that time.
Yeah, I was living in the outskirts of London at the time, out in Ruislip, and our house actually backed onto some fields, and it was hanging in the western sky over the back of the field. So it was in the best possible place from a light pollution perspective. So it was just spectacular. Absolutely awesome.
I'll have to dig out the pictures I took of Hale Bopp and I'll show them here.
I didn't have a camera then, so I don't have any pictures. I've just got it in my brain.
Well, do you know what? I don't know whether I told you, but a friend of mine lent me a really big lens for my camera. And the problem was, in those days, of course, it was before digital cameras. It was all film, and you had no idea what sort of exposure to have, as I wasn't used to that lens, and I had no idea. And I tried bracketing the exposures, and every single one of them turned out really blurred, too long, and I was absolutely gutted. But I did get some. Some other photos from the garden with Hale Bopp over the trees. It was nice. I'll dig them out. Yes, in fact, Steve says, Deep Sky Mike says his memorable comet was Comet Bradfield in '87. I must admit, I don't remember that one.
No, I didn't see.
Steve Fox says Halley through the Large Refractor at Greenwich in a public outreach event. Oh, I'd love to have seen that.
Wow.
And Sea Fox says his first, or her first, I'm not sure whether Sea Fox is male or female, but Sea Fox's first was Cahutek, the one I was talking about earlier, that was going to take up a third of the night sky, but in the end was more or less a binocular object, and it was tiny. So,
well, they always say that comets related to the birth or death of an amazing person, don't they? I was born in '73, so maybe that comet was celebrating my birth.
Well, there's a coincidence, Mary, that you were born then. Yeah.
But when you look back through history, the comets that they assign to a birth or a death can be like 10 years apart from the actual event. It's just hilarious.
Deep Sky Mike.
I think you're right there, Mary.
Yeah. Deep Sky Mike says, I was lucky with Comet Bradfield on the 14th of November '87. It passed in front of NGC 6633, an amazing sight. Wow. I wonder if you got an image of that, Mike, because that'd be a good one to have in our gallery if you got an image of that.
I do love a nice comet conjunction.
Me too. So there we are. So now we're looking at still 48 minutes. Let me just check that stream is actually still running.
Oh, Deep Sky Mike, I love a good sketch, as you guys all know, so I'd love to see that. Please submit your sketch of that so we can have a look at it in the gallery.
I'm just going to reconnect to the Virgin stream because it had frozen, so I'm just going to reconnect to that.
I'm just wondering, Mary, when you said celebrating the year you were born, was that in response to Seafox when it said 1066 and all that?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
As I said, a ring light does wonders.
I apologise a minute ago. I responded to that quite late because I was listening to the lag on the YouTube.
Right. So now, we're now looking at 18 minutes. 19 minutes
Ooh.
Before the release of the rocket.
Well, we still have clear skies here, and from our meteor camera that's pointing that way, if something is high enough, like a meteor, we can pick up stuff from 600 miles away. So we are keeping everything crossed that we get something, even if it's just a tiny dot. It'd be really cool to get something on the cameras.
Yeah,
it's a tall ask from us this far away in Oxfordshire, but you never know.
Exactly. You'll like this, Mary. Deep Sky Mike says he actually has a sketch of Comet Bradfield in 87.
Yes, I said he must send that in for the gallery because I would love to see
You
that.
really must. spaceodditieslive@gmail.com, Mike. Please send it in. We'd love to see it. Our gallery isn't just for current images. It's for any astronomical images you've done that you would like us to see. And we do love looking at them. I'm just making sure that this live stream is not frozen. Nothing appears to be happening on the... Oh, there we are. There we are. Got it back now. Okay, there's just some music playing at the moment on Virgin. We're down to 20 minutes. We've gone up again. This is exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just clicking around all the planes on Flight Radar, as I always do. I lose hours of time on Flight Radar.
Dude, I've never used it.
Oh God, I'm addicted.
Oh, it's addictive. It's very addictive once you're on there.
Yeah, I've actually paid. I have the silver subscription to it now, because I do so much aircraft photography just with my zoom lens, and I can never remember what the thing was, so I use Flight Radar to go back retrospectively and find out what the plane was. Nobody's remotely interested in what the registration or where it was going to or from, but I like to look that up just so I know.
Yeah, it's very addictive when you start clicking around the planes, especially if you see something in the sky. I mean, I don't know what the lag is on this, but yeah, we get some strange aircraft flying around where we are. So we had some American things flying around the other day, which were very strange. They're the ones with the wings that tilt up and down, so it turns into a helicopter as well.
Oh yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, they were flying around the other day in formation. Right, somebody was asking.
Now saying 21 minutes.
Right, somebody wants to know what satellites are on there. So let's see if I can get on the site and we can have a look. See.
Ian, if you want to know all about the satellites, we found the best information is on the Everyday Astronaut website, which is everydayastronaut.com.
It's really detailed.
Yeah, some really detailed stuff there. You have to search for the mission. I think it's under upcoming missions. But
it's everyday-astronaut.com/start-me-up-amber-1-others-launcher-1. It rolls off the tongue. So if you're up for a challenge, type that in.
Is it possible for you to copy and paste that into the chat window, Mary?
I can't, because I'm not a mod, so I can't share links, unfortunately, in the chat.
Oh, no, that's true.
Share it to you. I can share it in our chat. You might be able to share it on YouTube.
I can put it in the chat.
Yeah, I can't share
Hang on,
links.
Ian, we'll just organise this for you.
Oh, right. Look. Derek's just put, there's also a ship watcher if you want to get into that, Mary. You can watch
Oh,
your
there is.
boats.
Yeah, I do. When there was the blockage in the Suez Canal, I spent hours on the marine tracker as well. But interestingly, one of the satellites that is on this payload is IOD-3 Amber, which is one of the ones that is actually going to be looking at maritime domain awareness. And although there is already a marine tracker, this is one that's going to be geolocating and demodulating radio signals. So it's going to be looking for all this data and sending it out to governments to look for illegal fishing, people that might be smuggling or trafficking, piracy, terrorism, all of that stuff. Because it says on the website that apparently Indonesia loses $200 million per year because of unlicensed fishing. So this satellite is going to be involved with that to try to, just have better marine tracking capabilities. So that's one of the payloads.
Maybe
the other
that's
one,
why the Irish fishermen are upset.
Yeah, probably. One of the other ones that's really interesting that we were chatting about before is one that is kind of starting the. It's kind of this is Forge Star Zero, so it's the first one that's been developed in Wales, and this is starting to demonstrate the ability to manufacture things in orbit where you have low gravity, because metal materials or whatever that are actually built like bolts or nuts, whatever, all the stuff that's built in microgravity is way stronger than it is when you build it here on Earth. So there are lots of applications for that. So at the moment we're restricted with wind turbines on the size of the blades because the bolts break, so it would allow bigger wind turbines. Also, there are, what were the other? There was wind turbines and also turbine parts for gas turbines as well. I think they'd be able to make them bigger and more efficient, which would mean aircraft engines are more efficient. So they're not going to be doing all that building yet, but they are going to be doing some stuff with that. And it's a reusable satellite that will come back. They can recover the load and then send it up again. So it's just basically getting that off the ground, which I think is a brilliant thing. Reusing stuff, making stronger materials. And if we are going to be kind of doing a lot more exploring around the world or around the solar system or wherever, we're going to need capability of building stuff in orbit. There's a lot of benefits to doing that. So I think that's a really important mission. So
yeah.
So it's late. I mumbled my way through that. Sorry if that wasn't going.
By the way, we seem to have a problem with the Virgin live stream. The current time, as David Lee has pointed out, the current time is showing 10:28, but it's not, is it? It's 10:44.
Yeah.
So I wonder what's going on there. And they're now saying 40 minutes until the drop.
Well, yeah, I thought it was a bit too keen because it's only just getting out to its deployment area now, I think.
Yeah, it's not done any of the holding orbit yet.
There we are. Ian says, thanks for the info, Mary.
So Ian can ask his brother about how the metals bond together when they're in space. I guess.
That'll be a riveting conversation.
It is actually really interesting.
Yeah, riveting. Boom, boom.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. As I said, it's late.
No, don't worry about it. It wasn't that good.
Daz or Mary, can you check your YouTube to see what time the clock is showing there?
On our YouTube stream?
Go to the Virgin Orbit site on YouTube and see what time the clock is showing there.
I've got 10:29.
Right, so it's not me. So is it really taking, really got a 15-minute delay from Virgin? That's bizarre.
Well, it's saying time since takeoff 27 minutes. Well, it's been longer than that, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Yeah. This must be a recap or something. It's all up to date, yeah.
Yeah. So David, thank you for pointing that out. Nice of you to join us, by the way. Yeah, Hogarth's Astrophotography says your live stream is nearly 20 minutes behind. It's not our live stream, it's Virgin's live stream that is nearly 20 minutes behind. So,
No, Virgin's live stream is saying 10:46.
Is it?
Yeah. I've just opened it up on another YouTube window.
Okay, let me reload this one then.
Right.
Just 1 second. Let's see whether we can get up to date. Right, that's better now. That's it. We're now up to date.
The chat
when
on
that
their video stream is just so chaotic.
Yeah. Okay, let's listen in for a minute then.
Here, I have a job to get capability on orbit, and with these primary payloads that we're working with the UK MOD and DSTL, that's the whole goal, is to be able to demonstrate our allied interoperability with that data sharing across our partners in this, as you mentioned, incredibly dynamic and quite frankly dangerous space environment that we're dealing with today.
So you definitely see that this type of partnership is something that will be valued going forward, and more such missions will likely be accomplished in the future.
Well, yeah. I mean, anytime.
Okay, so
The plane's
it's a
turned,
shame
ready
Michael
to go
hasn't
into
been able
the
to rejoin
orbit.
us, but anyway,
This time he may come.
yeah. Yeah, thanks, David Lee. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on news at
20 minutes until
10.
launch.
Excellent.
Michael says they've turned south into the launch path. I don't know whether you can see that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I suspect they're going to do at least a couple of orbits around that oval holding path before they release.
I hope we're going to have some live footage from the aircraft.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. I'm surprised there's still quite a few little planes quite close, really.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that too. There's a
And
couple that did.
Sorry.
Sorry?
No, I was just going to say, Anne says it's on news at 10 right now. So
yeah,
excellent.
The nearest plane is a Play airline, and it's from Madrid to Reykjavik. So,
yeah, there's a Barcelona to Reykjavik right behind it on its tail as well.
Yeah,
I wish I were on that one. I'd love to go to Reykjavik. Iceland has always been on my bucket list.
Yeah, I'd like to go there.
I think somebody's going to join us. Oh, Bernard is joining us.
Hello.
Welcome back, Bernard.
Yeah, thanks. Hello, guys.
Hi.
So great to be amongst you guys for this, for another historic launch.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this year we're going to have quite a few of them, aren't we?
Oh God,
so, yeah.
this year is just going to be, it's going to be amazing. Year. Absolutely.
Elon Musk has now said that it's expected that the Starship orbital attempt is going to happen in March.
Okay.
So,
excellent.
Yeah.
Let's put that in our calendars, because that's going to be a very interesting one.
And we'll definitely be here covering that on Space Oddities, because that will be a major event.
Did he copy and paste that from last year, Andy?
Yeah, and the year before.
Yeah.
No, because he was saying initially that it was going to launch in July 2021. So I think he was a little optimistic.
So what's the
See, they
status
put
with
up, they put up a polite plan of
So we're looking at 17 minutes before the drop, as it were. We hope we're going to get some live footage from the aircraft, but who knows? And we still have 23 people watching. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. We hope you're enjoying yourselves. Any questions at all, please put them in the comments. And it's so lovely to have so many of you watching with us.
I just noticed on the Virgin Orbit stream, there's a debate going on which is the best pasty brand. So they're not really bored.
Ginsters, definitely.
I'll take
that's
any.
what they're all saying. Greg's is a close second.
Ooh. Hogarth's Astrophotography says, I've got all Skycam out. Not sure if I'll see anything. Allegedly, I should be able to see something here from Spain, and I've checked, and we do still have a clear night out there. But yes, thank you, Ian Ginsters, obviously. But I think I'd prefer to be in here, actually.
And Mark's next door keeping an eye on our meteor camera feed. So
Right. Michael in Ireland says the aircraft should turn to his right 180 degrees and head north before taking another 180-degree turn and head south to the launch.
Yeah, because of course it's taken a southerly trajectory, isn't it? The rocket once it launches.
That's right.
So,
Hogarth's Astrophotography says our local deli homemade Yorkshire pasties, as we can't call them Cornish pasties anymore.
no, all this political correctness. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's nothing. When I lived in Wales, there was a brand of crisps called Dragon Crisps, and they were forced to take them off the market because there weren't actually bits of dragon inside.
So, what about a fisherman's pie then?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or a cottage pie, shepherd's pie.
Or
Stargazy pie. What about Stargazy pie? That's horrendous.
Absolutely, says Sea Fox.
Hold on. What about
all the fish heads pointing up? Anyway, let's get off.
What about
put cheese and onion pasty? No, it's not going to happen.
Sorry, Bernard. What were you trying to say?
Yeah, sorry guys, I didn't want to barge you in, but what about the Mars chocolate bars? There are no pieces of Mars. Sorry. Okay, moving on. Moving on.
Yeah, they have. Sure. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the Galaxy bar has got the galaxy in it. If you think about it, think outside the box.
Do you know the box that you're in, Daz? I really don't want to be in.
It's padded. It's lovely. It's lovely.
Is Schrodinger's cat in there with you?
Yeah, and it is dead.
Or is it? It is and it isn't. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Bernard. Nice to have you back.
No, I decided to change my plans. Since we've been starting to do this live show on YouTube, one of my great joys is actually to be just to do these live launches with you guys, because we all know each other, and it's just fantastic. Because before I just used to watch live launches on my laptop or on the TV, and it's great, but you're on your own, and you just want to share that with other people. So
of course,
being able to be here and sharing this with you folks and our viewers is just fantastic. So
yeah. And Anne in Ireland made a nice point recently that she did look at the Virgin site, but that there are thousands and thousands of people watching it, and as you can see here, the comments are going far too fast to even read.
Yeah.
So she says she
and a lot of them just
here.
wind you as well. The comments are just they are the worst when you watch them live on those launches.
Well, somebody just sent through some about Shrewsbury Town. What's that all about? Oh well, never mind.
Which is
Yeah,
which
I
is
was talking
why
about food.
We're now
which is
12
why our viewers have done well to watch us here, because the comments are very insightful, and we can
Absolutely.
read them properly.
Yeah, and thank you all for your comments and your questions, and just for being here, really. And don't forget, we are live. We are live every Monday evening on YouTube at 8 p.m. UK time for more astronomy fun and frolics. So do join us every Monday, and more importantly, please do remember to subscribe to the channel. That's very important. Yes, CFox says, unfortunately, the live stream commentary is not being moderated, so which I think is pretty much impossible when you've got that volume of people. So, and Ian says, so much more civilized here. Well, we like to think so, Ian. So,
well, we had
if you are
we had
watching, don't forget to hit like, by the way. Sorry.
exactly, like and subscribe. That's our mantra. So,
Sorry, Bernard.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to say, for the viewers that just arrived here and don't know about our Monday sessions, we've just had another great Monday session earlier on, where we discussed about observing Titan during the Voyager missions. Andy's talked to us about planetary building, the manufacturing of planets, and the impact it has on astrobiology. I did a quick shot at the SWAT satellite that has been launched recently. So yeah, we had another fantastic and great session. So if you have joined us now, don't forget to join us on every Monday at 8 p.m. UK time.
Definitely.
We got somebody on Facebook. Don't know whether that's Jonathan. It was Jonathan Powell earlier on, was on Facebook. Don't know whether he's on there still.
Yes, Jonathan. Jonathan is a frequent visitor, as it were.
He's asking what time is the launch. What have we got now on there, Andy? We got 10 minutes.
8 minutes, it says now. Hogarth's astrophotography. I'll just pop this message up. Anyone seen the amazing new nebula imaged in Oi that was right next to our biggest neighbour N31?
I hadn't until just now. I've just found it on AstroBin, and yeah, it's an O3 emission arc.
Ah,
It was
O3.
discovered in August last year.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Michael says, just as well the fishermen protested the Russian Navy out of that area, which they did. Deep Sky Mike says, yes, I've seen that image. Incredible.
That's a lot of data. That is an insane amount of data. 111 hours.
What? That is a lot. How much is that in terms of data? That must be, God, how many gigabytes is that?
That's a lot, isn't it?
Must be a terabyte, surely.
Wow. Crikey.
That's a lot.
I won't be imaging that one, I'm afraid.
No, indeed.
I'm too patient. There's too many objects to photograph.
I'd like to, if you don't mind, I'd like just to have a quick comment on the significance of what we're watching, because I recently did an article a few months ago on Europe's new space environment, whereas the privatization of of the European space launch systems and space satellites, and how that's just building up pace. And basically what we're seeing here, and you probably mentioned this before, Andy, but I just want to reiterate, is just that the cost of launching payloads into space is just keeping on, well, it's going to carry on dropping. And if Virgin is successful with this, Virgin Orbit is successful with this launch, it will enable even more of these new space industries in Europe to be able to launch systems into satellites into space. And that's just going to fuel an enormous amount of investment in the coming years. And this is just the beginning of a new era. We continuously talk about the beginning of a new era with SpaceX and all the rest, but that this is just another building block into this new landscape that we're seeing from space exploration. And it's just mind-blowing, really.
It is. and you know, as you say, we're constantly being told, oh, you know, we're in a new golden age, but you know, every year just gets more amazing and more amazing and more amazing, and especially with European spaceflight. I saw on the Angry Astronauts channel earlier, there was an American who said the Angry Astronaut is covering European spaceflight too much. I'm unsubscribing.
Well, you know, there will come a point where, there's so much happening, of course, on the American side, North American side, and then of course Europe is taking off just like literally like now, let's say,
Yeah.
and China as well, of course, as we know, and we've been mentioning about it, is also significantly ramping up its its space exploration. With we're going to have Darwin 1, which is the Chinese private, let's say, reusable rocket like SpaceX copy, launching this year. Everything's going well. So at some point, it's going to be difficult to start to follow all the developments that are taking place around the world.
Absolutely. And I don't think people fully appreciate how things are going to change and how rapidly.
And I'm not. That's a good problem to have. I'm not complaining about this at all.
Oh no, absolutely not. No. But I often say to people, it's as if spaceflight has done very little in the last few decades. Okay, we've had the wonderful reconnaissance of the whole of the solar system to keep us interested and to keep us going. But in terms of technology development, there really was a few decades where there was so much stagnation and nothing much was happening in terms of pushing technology forward. And now it seems as if it's just gone completely crazy with so much happening. And
so the cost as well of just launching a CubeSat now is so much lower than it was, and it means that it's available to so many more people to do their research.
Well, when you think that when the Starship is fully up and running, Elon Musk is predicting that it's going to cost $2 million per launch. That's all. And you compare that with $4 billion for the SLS. I mean, even if he's off by a factor of 10, that's still an incredibly cheap launch.
Yeah.
And it's going to make the price of getting a kilo of weight into orbit down to just a few dollars. And that is going to spark its own revolution.
I think we should start considering sending a Space Oddities satellite up there, right?
No, we'll just send you, Bernard.
I'd happily go. Please do.
I know.
Please do.
One-way trip, mind you.
Okay.
Preferably one that will sort my bandwidth out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You haven't done too badly tonight, though. Let's be fair.
No, not too bad. I think
have you murdered your neighbours to get their broadband?
Yeah, I'm hacking in. No, I think it was when Lou reloaded his when he dropped out, and then he reloaded his presentation that I dropped out. Yeah.
But at least we solved the crackling on the sound by just reloading the stream, which is great. Yeah.
Well, you thought it was what you thought it was, because you said before you'd been online for a long time, had this on stream on for a long time last time.
Yeah, I was right.
So, we'll talk about other things later.
Okay, so we're now 3 minutes from launch. Shall we listen to the commentary now?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Got some nice music there.
Yeah, I think we'll have that off again because there's just music at the moment, so nothing to listen to at the moment. So I have to mute this. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's making another turn, and thank you for keeping us up to date. and says the plane is speeding up to 480 from 320 at 30,000 feet. They're launching at 50,000 feet, though, aren't they? I thought. Obviously not.
They're launching it. Yeah, it's got to do 3 or 4 of these turns before it gets that high. And I don't know what height the Cairo Air is. It was it? No, Egypt Air plane is. That's right behind it now. Going from Toronto to Cairo. I'm surprised
35,000 feet.
So he's below, but I'm surprised they're letting these planes around this area so close. Oh, well,
they've got a
maybe.
fully fueled, powerful missile on that plane.
Yeah, if they don't know it's going to take off in a minute, they're going to be in for a bit of a shock.
Be a heck of a view, though.
Yeah, let's hope somebody's got a camera on there.
Yeah.
Derek says there's 142,000 people watching Flight Radar.
Yes, there are 157 now. 157,000 tracks around the world.
There we are. And we still have 28 people with us watching this live, which is great. Let me just see if there's any commentary now. No, still music.
Can we remind our viewers what is the payload?
Yes, there are 9 satellites. If you want to find out the details of each satellite, visit everydayastronaut.com, click on missions, and you'll see this mission listed. And there's a full breakdown of all the satellites there. And I put the link to that in the chat a bit earlier. So if you scroll up, you'll see the link to that in the chat.
Yeah, I'm interested. I want to know if they're mainly private satellites or if there are some, governmental ones.
There are some military ones with military involvement
right
up there as well. So it's a mixture of private and government and mixed agencies.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff on these payloads. And the link to that was in Discord earlier, Bernard. Andy posted a link to it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah,
Michael Dune says it's just about to launch.
According to this, but I don't think they're quite ready yet, are they?
Any commentary?
Just let me check. No, just music. So
I think it's do one more loop round at least.
Yeah. It's now, the clock is now at 0. So
okay, so that means it's starting its last loop round then, I think.
Right.
Because it was going to do the loops and then there was one last hot loop, I think they called it, and then it's going to launch from.
Right.
So it's currently about to go back north again, and when it comes back round and south, I think that's hopefully when it will launch.
Sound back on. Hang on.
The counter on the left-hand side is a little bit of a misnomer because it's really drop-ready time. And I also did want to mention, you probably saw a quick camera feed that we had where the screen looked black. That's actually nominal because that was a live camera feed from the camera that's actually on the rocket underneath the payload fairing. You can see now this is an aft camera view from the drop. So we have, it looks to be a successful ignition of the stage 1 engine as we make our way to space.
So it's launched.
Godspeed.
Okay.
Oh, we've got music now. So this is looking backwards, presumably, at the exhaust of the rocket. Oh, sparks.
Andy, can you increase the screen so we can watch the telemetry on it?
Certainly. 1 second. That's as big as we can have it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what's the altitude at the moment.
Actually,
Like I had said before, a lot happens very quickly after drop. You can see here that we're actually getting towards the end of our stage 1 burn. Everything is nominal so far. We've had our pitch up on the bottom, on the burn timer
Stage
there
1
that you
throttle
can
down,
see
Commander.
on the graphical user interface if you do have that one off. We have made it through max Q alpha, which is one of the most stressful physical moments for the rocket, very comfortably through max Q. And then also through our maximum heat, aerodynamic heat heating.
all going well.
We have made it through MECO, our main engine cutoff. That is our Newton 3
Force startup complete.
engine shutdown, is reported as nominal.
Looking
It's
good.
360,000 and climbing fast. 370, 375.
And if we can go back to our aft camera,
Fairing brake wire is broken.
we have stage separation. You may see dropouts in the data during the flight here. That is expected as we're switching between the different ground stations that are picking up the signal from the rocket.
Ah, look, the fairing's off.
Hmm.
Such a shame it's a nighttime launch, though.
I was going to say, was there any reason
Switching
why
data
they
source
need
to the Nuki.
do that at light?
Now, as you can see, the trajectory that's being shown on the screen is no longer of Cosmic Girl because she is on her way back to Spaceport Cornwall in the UK. The trajectory is now tracking Launcher 1 as she makes
Stage
her way
2 burn
down
2
the
nominal.
Atlantic Ocean towards the Canary Islands.
Oh. I was in the Canary Islands on the wrong days.
Yes.
Bernard, somebody said earlier that the night launch was
Stage 2
something
trajectory nominal.
with the orbit needing to get where it needed to be for the satellites, but I don't have confirmation of whether that's true.
Yeah. It's just a shame because if they could have
One. On the GUI here,
that's
you can
what
see in the center there, obviously the cool flame coming out the left-hand side, but you can see the fuel and the oxygen leaving the stage as it goes through the engine. Another really neat thing to see is the gimbal over on the left-hand side. The blue square with the dot in the middle shows you the position of the engine as it is steering stage 1.
Stage 2 burn nominal.
There's some pretty neat graphics, aren't they?
It certainly is.
Altitude now is looking at around about 600,000 feet. Approximately 3 miles per second.
Looks like it's falling.
Bus voltages for the batteries are nominal. You may have noticed that we had a lower voltage while we were in captive
Switching
carry,
data source to
and that's
Madrid.
because the power was being provided by Cosmic Girl at that point before we switched over to the rocket's internal batteries.
That's strange. Why is the telemetry all stopped and speed stopped?
Why is the rocket now going vertically?
Stage 2 burn is a little longer than the Stage 1 burn, so this might take a little while for us to get to second engine cutoff 1.
Still.
Well, they did say there were going to be dropouts in telemetry, so it's
Yeah.
understandable.
And Anne says the Queen Mary is underneath somewhere sailing to Southampton.
Might have some extra cargoes.
Get some good views from the Queen Mary then.
Yeah.
I wanted to say earlier, the must have been interesting conversation between the marketing team and the engineering team, where the marketing team was like, "We need to launch during the day to have better views," and the engineering team was like, "Nope."
As I said earlier, there are points of the flight where we don't have the telemetry coming from the rocket because we are out of view of the ground stations. Our flight software folks have implemented a store and forward on our rocket, which means that when we are out of view of the ground stations, we are storing that data so that the next time we do come in view of a ground station, we can download it and
Confirm
and
target
back
lock
through
from
it.
Madrid. Data source switch to Madrid.
Roger, Shane,
Our
you can see
Madrid
anything
ground
outside?
station has locked on to our rocket and is streaming the data now.
Yeah, Roger. Shame you couldn't see anything from outside, but thank you for trying. You're more than
And-
welcome to come and join us.
And I do like the Kevin Earp's
Confirm
comment
signal
about
from Maspalomas, switching telemetry source to Maspalomas.
the lack of whooping and cheering when the rocket dropped from the
Yeah.
Virgin Orbit team.
Newton 4 shutdown initiated.
Well, you know us Brits, Bernard, we just get moderately excited. There's no need to make an exhibition of ourselves, is there?
Screaming and hooping inside, but outside we just nod our head a little bit.
Yes.
Yep.
Hip hip, hooray.
Of
Celebrate
the
with a
first
cup of
burn
tea.
of our second stage.
So I wonder how much longer before it actually gets into orbit.
You can see along the bottom of the screen right now, our flight timeline has been updated to show the Cosmic Girl is returning, obviously, and then Launcher 1, which takes up the majority of the flight timeline there, is at our S2 cutoff, or our second stage engine cutoff.
And thank you all for being here. We're now we appear to be having more people joining us now. We're up to 30 people now sharing this historic flight with us. So it's wonderful to have you all here. Don't forget, we expect you all to be here for next Monday's show as well, 8 o'clock UK time on our channel. And please subscribe. Just do us that small favour because it really helps the YouTube algorithm take notice of us if we have likes and subscriptions. So like and subscribe.
So now's probably a good time to talk a little bit about our rocket profile. Like I said, once we get to drop, a lot of stuff happens very, very quickly. What you might have seen is initially after the drop, around about 5 seconds or so after the drop, because we need to make sure that our aircraft is safe and out of the way, we fire what we call our propellant settling thrusters, or our PSTs, and they're solid rocket boosters that are on the back of Launcher 1, and they give the rocket a little push forward to settle our propellants for stage 1. And then we have that main engine start, or MES, for S1. And then you saw over, I think it was about 3 minutes or so, our stage 1 burn, which, as I had said before, does most of the heavy lifting, and our main engine cutoff. Separated from stage 2, and stage 2 has to do the work for the rest of the journey. We start our second stage engine, which is the burn that just happened, and during that burn, we separate our fairings. And what that does, it opens up the pointy end of the rocket, essentially, through ordnance firing. That opens up that section and exposes the payloads. We continue to fly under power on our second stage during that first burn, and then we'll have that cut off. And you can see the graphic on the screen right now. We again get to the coast, which is the phase that we're in right now. And we do a maneuver. We execute a maneuver called the barbecue roll. So essentially we are rifling through the atmosphere. And what this does is it avoids one side of the stage from getting too hot and the other from getting too cold. Our rocket is covered in a spray-on foam insulator, but this is a very standard maneuver procedure that most rocket companies execute. Once we've finished our coast, We will do a second engine start, so SES2. So we restart our second stage engine to lift us a little more, and then we'll cut off that engine, and after that will be our payload separation. And that's when we can start popping champagne corks and dancing. After payload separation, we do have a couple of extra things that we want to do here during this mission, and we will do a maneuver called the CCAM, or the Contamination and Collision Avoidance Maneuver, and then we will actually fire our second stage for a third time, so you'll hear calls for SES, or Second Engine Start 3, and then SECO, or Second Engine Cutoff 3. Once that's complete, we go into a phase that we call safing, and then the mission is complete.
Interesting. Quite a complicated sequence of events, isn't it?
Mm.
It certainly is.
Bernard, Kevin wants to know what time does the ice cream seller go round?
Oh, it's coming around when you hear the music. It'll be there.
And Ian says chocolate chip for him.
Yeah, yeah. I'll have vanilla, please.
I'll have stem ginger.
Rum and raisin.
You can see images on screen right now from our Mission Control Center over in Cornwall, the UK.
How long do you want to carry on, guys?
Depends how long this is. I don't know how long it's going to take for the second burn.
There's a double decker there. It's got lost.
It's full of ice cream.
Very low bridges.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Yuki and Cornwall.
Take a moment to say how much we appreciate the folks that came out to Cornwall this evening to watch our launch. It is a historic day, obviously, for the United Kingdom, but for Eastern Europe as well. And we very much appreciate you all being here today, including those folks that have joined us on the live stream through YouTube. Thank you for being here and being part of this journey with us.
It's that London bus again. It's going the other way this time.
So, Andy, do we know how long the second burn is going to start and how long it's going to take to put the payload into orbit?
I don't think it'll be that much longer before the burn ends. However, we've still got some time to wait until the payload's deployed. So we're back to the music. 1 second, let's just kill that.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. What do you want to do?
I think
let's ask our audience. Would you like us to stay for the deployment of the payload? Our viewers out there in YouTube land and Facebook land. So Dan says it looks like it's around 50 to 60 minutes from rocket drop to payload deployment. So we've obviously got quite a way to wait yet. Maybe another 50 minutes or so. Madrid ground station is streaming the telemetry now. Hurrah! More cheese, Gromit, says Steve Fox. Absolutely. So what do our viewers think? Would you like us to stick around, or are you happy for us to end the stream now? Ian says we've seen the important stuff. No need to carry on. Thanks for that, Ian.
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna be able to carry on just because
No, I'm an hour ahead of you as well, so I think I'm going to call it a night. So,
yeah, we have a life to carry on tomorrow, the next day. So yeah.
Kevin says happy for you to continue. He's image processing, but it's our call. I think what we'll do, we'll draw proceedings to a close because here it's certainly getting late, and I need to get up fairly early in the morning. So I think we will start drawing things to a close. We'd like to thank all of our audience for being here this evening, for our Monday show, and for this historic launch of the first British satellite from its own soil. And we'd like to thank you all for being here. Thank you for staying up so late with us. And we hope to see you on our Monday show next Monday, as always, 8 o'clock p.m. UK time on the Space Oddities channel. And that's it, really. Thank you very much. We have enjoyed having you as an alternative here to the Virgin side. So that's it, really. I'd like to thank Mary, Bernard, and Daz for staying with us, and I'd like to thank Roger as well for being our raving reporter in his field.
In his field.
In his field, but he didn't manage to see anything. I think we'll sack him. So there we are. And,
I'd like to thank Andy for hosting this and setting this up. It's been great to watch this with all of you guys.
Oh, it's been great to have you, Bernard, and thank you.
Thanks for everyone.
We were exceptionally lucky tonight. The technology seems to have behaved itself mostly, so it's been great. Ian, thank you for that. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all of those watching on Astronomy Island. Lovely to have you with us. And we will, from the panel, what remains of the panel this time of night, we'd like to bid you all a very good night. So we will see you next Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night,
Thank you
everyone.
very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See